Students, chapter number 10, the living organisms and their surroundings. So first term in this chapter, habitat, the place where living organisms live is called their habitat. Such as lotus plant grow in pond. So pond is a habitat of lotus plant. Cactus plant grow in desert, so desert is a habitat of cactus plant. Next term is environment. Everything that surrounds and affect the life of a living organism is called its environment. Such as in our environment in which we live, what things are surrounded us, like trees and different types of living organisms, sunlight, air. That are the things that are surrounded us. So these all things make our environment. Next is components of environment. From what things environment is formed. As I told you that the plants, living organisms, soil, sunlight, these things that are surrounded to us. So these are the components of environment. Components of environment are divided into two parts, abiotic and biotic components. All living organisms such as plants, human beings, microorganisms are included in biotic components, while non-living things such as soil, water, air, sunlight, temperature and wind make our abiotic components of the environment. So from what things we are surrounded? We are surrounded by biotic and abiotic components, and biotic and abiotic component make our environment. Next is biotic component. Before this, a line is written here. Biotic and abiotic component form the natural environment of the living organism. Biotic component, the biotic component of the environment can be divided into four groups, such as I told you that in biotic components, such as all living beings that are surrounded us form our biotic components and a part of our environment. So in biotic component further divided into four groups: producer, consumers, scavengers and decomposers. In biotic components, living organisms are included, and the types of living organism, on the basis of type of living organism, biotic component are divided into four types. Next is producer. We see the living things such as plant around us. So plants are producers because they prepare their own food. So the organism that can manufacture their own food is called producers. Next is consumers. Organisms that cannot manufacture their own food but consume directly or indirectly food prepared by green plants are called consumers. Consumers and further consumers can be divided into three categories. So organisms that cannot prepare their own food but dependent on plants directly or indirectly, they are called as consumers. And consumers are divided into three parts: primary consumers, secondary consumers and tertiary consumers. Primary consumers are called herbivorous because they depend directly on plants for their food. So animals that eat only green plants and plant products are called herbivorous or primary consumers, such as cows and horses. Next is secondary consumers that we call carnivorous. They indirectly depend on plants. How are they indirectly depends on plants? Let's understand. Animals that eat the flesh of other animals as food are called carnivorous or secondary consumers. So they eat the flesh of other animals, and flesh of other animals mean that living animals, after the death of living animals, they are eaten by carnivorous. So we say that they eat the flesh of other animals. So because the life of living animals are dependent on plants, because they get their foods from plants. So, and secondary consumers dependent on the flesh. Flesh means the soft part found between the bones and under the skin of an animal. Soft part we call flesh, or the part of animal's body we call that flesh, that are eaten by secondary consumers. So secondary consumers eat the flesh of other animals are called carnivorous, and they indirectly dependent on the plants, because the flesh of other animals that they eat, the flesh of other animals are obtained from living animals, and living animals life dependent on plants. So secondary consumers indirectly dependent on plants. Next is tertiary consumers or top carnivorous. Large animals like lions, tigers, leopards that eat secondary consumers are called tertiary consumers, and they are not killed or eaten by other animals. Students, next type of animal included in our biotic component are scavengers. Organisms that feed on the dead remains of animals that are killed by predators are called scavengers. After the death of living beings, the dead parts of their body are eaten by scavengers. An example of scavengers, kites and vultures. Next is decomposers. Decomposers is organisms like some of the bacteria and fungi that decompose. Decompose means to break down the things into its smallest part. Smaller and smaller part, we call that term. That term decompose means to break down the things into its smallest part. So that decomposed dead remains of plants and animals to obtain their food are called decomposers. So fungi and bacteria break down the dead remains of plants and animals into smallest part, and decompose dead remains of plants and animals to obtain their food, and by in the process of decompose this dead remain of plant and animals into simplest form, they obtain their food. Next is interaction between abiotic and biotic component. As we know that our surrounding is made up of abiotic and biotic component, all living beings life dependent on abiotic and biotic components. All living beings such as plants and different animals are dependent on each other on the abiotic components of environment. How are they dependent on each other on abiotic components? Let's we understand. Here both in this picture, both abiotic and biotic components you are seeing, like air, sunlight, water are abiotic components. So water are required for every living beings to for surviving. So water is required by plants, deer, lion and humans. So this is an interaction of abiotic and biotic, that biotic factors are dependent on abiotic for their survival. And next is air is also required by all living beings. So air receiving by plants, deer, lion and human. So this is the interaction between biotic and abiotic component. Next is that biotic components are dependent on each other. Deer obtain its food, his food from plant. Deer is eaten by lion. So deer and lion are linked with each other and dependent on each other. That lion gets its food from deer and deer gets its food from plant. So this is the interaction between biotic factor or biotic component, and living beings are dependent on each other. Next is human is omnivorous because they eat both the plant products and animal products both, so are called omnivorous. Humans are dependent on plants or on animals for their survival. So this is the interaction between biotic and abiotic. Next is excretion and decay products. Excretory products of living beings or decay products, like after the death of living beings, the dead remains of their body or excretory products are decomposed by decomposers. Decomposed by means that excretory product or decay product like dead remains of plants and animals body are converted into smallest part by the decomposer. Decomposers are the microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi. They break down these products into smallest form. These smallest form, simplest form, act as a nutrients for the plant. So, and this process are going on in the soil part. So, and these simplest form act as a nutrition for the plant, nutrition in the soil. So, nutrition in the soil are provided by decomposers as they decompose the excretory product and decay products of plant and animals. So, I hope you have understood this. This is the interaction between abiotic and biotic components. And this This interaction of biotic and abiotic known as interdependence. In any habitat, plants and animals, biotic component that we call dependent on each other, or non-living components, abiotic components of the environment. This is known as interdependence. And because of this interdependence, plants and animals help to maintain a balance in nature. Thank you.